you have no confidence in self, you are twice defeated in the race of life. A people without knowledge of their past, history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots. Liberate the minds of men, and ultimately you will liberate the bodies of men. Men who are earnest, but not afraid of their consequences. They try to put my soul in a black hole, but didn't realize this melanin is gold. That's why I shine with this little light of mine.
Let's go. Let's go. All right. So you're tuned into Civics for the Culture. I am your host, Benny, aka Poetically Williams. And today, we're talking about the Insurrection Act. The Insurrection Act, which is causing a lot of talk right now, is causing a lot of question. What is the Insurrection Act and what does it mean for us as citizens as we move forward through this country? What is going through some radical times, what is going through a time which I say is close to something like a revolution, close to something like a rebirth of a nation, a rebirth of systems, a rebirth of a mind state, a rebirth of a purpose, and a rebirth of a structure. And with that structure, it comes what you're supposed to have is a leadership, which it comes what you're supposed to have is someone that can guide us through as a nation and as a unit, so that we can be more efficient in the way that we think and the way that we move and the way that we operate with as a community together. That's what you would hope for as someone else that is in leadership. That's what you would hope for as a group of people that are in leadership. Not that they're greedy, not that they have an ideal that only can benefit them and people that look like them, not that they want to suppress others. No, surely not. You wouldn't want that kind of leadership. But unfortunately, we live in a country where that leadership does exist. And with the Insurrection Act, well, let's go straight to this. Let's go straight to some news first. Senate Democrats introduced legislation on Thursday to limit presidential power under the Insurrection Act, after President Trump warned that he could deploy active military troops into U.S. cities. Now, the rise of this, what is the cost and what's the talk of this Insurrection Act? A lot of talk has been around this because of the George Floyd killing, which some would like to say murder. Yes, I think that would be the accurate statement for that. The George Floyd murder, not just killing, not just death, murder in Minneapolis. And a lot of talk, a lot of protests and riots have risen because of his murder. And yes, our president doesn't like a protest. Our president doesn't like having the truth heard, that police brutality and what's focused behind that police brutality, that black men, black women are being subject to face more violence from the police than we should see, than we should hear, than we should feel. You know, we just talked about the origins of police on another episode of Civics for the Culture. I definitely hope that you can tune into that one and kind of get some background to understand who we're around, who we're with right now. You know, a lot of cultures have reinforcements, and we're going to talk about that on how we as black people and people of color should have reinforcements of our own community. So, but going to the Insurrection Act, and look here, I'm no lawyer, I'm no politician. However, what I am and what you can be as well is someone that is educated and someone that is informed of different laws, of the Constitution, and how it can affect us. That's my main position here in this seat and on this microphone, is to educate us and inform us as I learn myself the laws of this nature and the laws that can and will be used against us in ways to silence us, silence our voice, and limit our actions here on certain freedoms, which shouldn't be the case. So with these riots and no, not with these protests, because there have been a lot of peaceful protests that the media is manipulating, I feel, in a sense, to show a lot of riots that are not happening, a lot of violence, and that a lot of peaceful protests are happening. A lot of peaceful protests. I want to shout out certain. I know my home, Winston-Salem, did a great job as far as the police even joining in and escorting the protest downtown. Have been some cases in New York, and unfortunately, I know in Charlotte and some other cities where police have been a little forceful with the protesters. I know there are some operative people out there that are working to shake up the protests and that are working to make it seem a certain way. Let's keep being peaceful. Let's keep showing our ways of how we can demonstrate our voice without violence, but letting you know we're here. You know, it's hard to denounce the violence because there is a point where you have to have a message heard. There is a point where you have to literally burn down the existence of what is in front of you, just so that something new can grow and bloom. And it comes to a point, hey, protests, one could say protests shouldn't lead to looting. Well, I would say arrests shouldn't lead to killings. A police stop shouldn't lead to my death now. It shouldn't happen. So you cannot tell us how to protest. So we tried to do that with Colin Kaepernick and kneeling quietly. Now you're kneeling on our necks and killing us. See, that's the difference. That's the difference. And so, yeah, this protest may seem radical. The protests may seem loud. These protests may seem passionate, emotional. However, that's what happens when arrests. That's what happens when the people that are here to protect and serve are killing you, and killing people only that seemingly consistently looking like one group of people, Black people, people of color. That's what hurts when we're seeing that violence and knowing that where that trauma comes from in this country that's systematically been built to oppress us. That hurts. That one actually doesn't hurt. It's painful to the very core. So yeah. So getting back to this, this was this week. So Senate Democrats introduced a legislation on Thursday to limit presidential power under the Insurrection Act. And I'm going to read what the Insurrection Act, I'm tongue-tied, is after President Trump warned that he could deploy active military troops into U.S. cities. So you may ask, what is the Insurrection Act? Whenever the president considers that unlawful obstructions, combinations, or assemblages, or rebellion against the authority of the United States make it impracticable, such an interesting word, to enforce the laws of the United States in any state by the ordinary course of judicial proceedings. He may call into federal service, such as the militia or any state, and use such of the armed forces as he considers necessary to enforce those laws or to suppress the rebellion. So what basically he can do something so just almost like a dictatorship. This is supposed to be United States of America. It's supposed to be a democracy. It's supposed to be where we all can come together with our voice and make decisions together in unison that can benefit us all and have and our well-being. Not to have somebody up top to be in their feelings and to feel just want to let their nuts hang and to try to use their show off their big guns and use that against a people that feel oppressed and trying to make their voice heard. People that feel like they're not being heard, they're not being seen, they're only being killed. This is what this is about. We shouldn't be here in this country where someone gets that power to do that to people that to do that to people that aren't seeing any justice, no peace. No racist ass police. It's simple as that. No racist ass system. No racist ass bigots that feel like just because they have money, just because they feel like they have an army behind them, can do anything to us. And that's how. And obviously, right here with the as the new legislation right here is the bill introduced by Senator Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut would require consultation with the Congress before a president use the Insurrection Act, and would limit the use of the law to 14 days unless lawmakers pass a resolution to extend it. That was written by this was an article actually in The Hill written by Jordan Carney that I just read to you. And so yeah, there should be, this is once again, this is not a dictatorship. This is a democracy. Understand what that means. You know, this shouldn't be a thing of where, hey, somebody can just run out and say, you know, I don't like what I'm seeing. I don't like what I'm seeing. I don't like the riots and protest. This isn't a protest. This is a people that are peacefully protesting, not trying to cause violence. Yes, you have people out there causing violence, and it's been questionable, and it's been actually kind of shown that those people are hired, and those people may be operatives by, I don't know. We're not gonna say, but we can say, who knows who those people are hired by. But the people that are out there, the large majority of people out there that are protesting are doing it peacefully and doing it with a way to let you know, hey, we're saying those people that have lost their lives, those fallen soldiers' names, so you can hear them, so they can ring. And so that people that are out here that think they have a badge and think they can do illegal misconduct and think they can get away with it, those people can be locked up. Simple as that. This isn't a protest of you're trying to just be disruptive and destroy cities. No, this is trying to wake people up. And this nation is about to wake up. This world is about to wake up. There's actually a section of the Insurrection Act entitled Interference with States and Federal Law. Allows for the president to take any measures of necessary to suppress in a state any insurrection, domestic violence, unlawful combination, or conspiracy. So you know what that tells me? That tells me we need to start recharging our batteries, recharging our minds, and kind of like resetting our program on how we move. I love protests and I love us making our voice heard. However, we are in a new day of age. We're in a new day of age. We have savvy black techs out there. We should be, yes, you march on the grounds, but we should also be hacking the system. You gotta hear me when I'm saying this. We gotta hack the system. And it's not just hacking the system by playing their game. I mean, it's literally hacking their game. I'm saying something, but I'm not saying something. It's a different way of how we should be moving now. It's a new day and age. This is 2020 going into 21, going into 22, and moving forward. The game is changing. Yes, protest and march on the ground. However, our savvy tech, black techs out there, where are we? Where are we blacking out the whole internet? We got to find a way to black out the internet. Power comes where you realize I have control of something that you need. And that's where we have to make that's where we're going to make our impact, and that's where we're going to make this real splash in the water. Gun licenses. Buy a gun, or you don't have to buy a gun, but I'm telling you, we all should be getting gun licenses. Let that number spike up and see how things move. Community groups. If we're protesting peacefully out here and this law was to happen, or if this act was to happen, excuse me, where are our groups? Where are our groups? something. Where are our community houses and buildings that we can go to for building, that we can go to and say, hey, this is our spot right here. This is, if something happens right here, we meet up right here. This group of people meet right here. This group of people meet right here. Where is that taking place? Where are our special codes? I'm saying something, but I'm not saying something. Listen to me. Our special codes, text messages, post. We have to move differently. Let's be loud and silent at the same time. Let's be loud and silent at the same time. We have celebrities out here, but it's not time to run to celebrities. It's time to run to our organizers. It's time to run to our people that have visions and that have strategies and that have tactics. We can't just be protesting and acting like we're not fighting a war at the same time. This is a systematic war we're fighting against. So are we going to move strategic, and are we going to move like the system is moving right now, which is digital and tech? Or are we just going to move through emotions, which is powerful too? Yeah, let's not be blind to that. I want to see us move different. I want to see us move loud and silent. I want to see us make them hear us every day while we're moving through that underground tunnel. That underground railroad is digital now. That underground railroad is digital now. I'm saying something, but I'm not. Understand that. Understand that. This is Civics for the Culture. I'm your host, Benny, aka Poetically Williams. Let's stay lifted. Let's stay wise. Let's stay strategic. This is just a moment right now. This is a major moment. This is a shift right now. But also, this is a moment that you can plant seeds right now, because there are levels that are getting ready to happen. So what we're doing right now is going to affect what's going to happen on the next end, what's going to happen on the next end. What are you doing to affect the next moment? I'm out.